supposed to.
You get to speak back during the re-education, you get to interact.
The re-education camp is traumatic experience. I really don't want to go into that right now.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, if I can talk to him, I'll go
exceedingly
through it.
annoying?
I think it's gonna be harder on them than me.
Another minute?
No, with my jacket, it's still cold.
Yes,
I wasn't able to do my normal stuff today because,
You screwed up everything in the house.
Okay. We are live. You're not going to find any updates on NPR. I'll tell you that much right now.
Here's, the record article for today.
Which is wrong. All right. Hey, everyone. Here we are, Friday night. It is December 6, 2024. This is the Northern Neck January 6th Vigil. It is day 1,470 since January 6th. And it was a big day today for a number of people. Some of them really close to us, and we'll get into that. As usual, we'll start with the prayer, Pledge of Allegiance, and do a few updates and make a few calls. And I think we're going to connect with the DC Vigil tonight. I've got a plan on how we can do that and share some information more efficiently that way. So, as usual, there we go, and I'll kick things off. Heavenly Father, please give that young 15-year-old man, boy, all your support and strength. Shine through him so that he knows that it's going to be okay, even though he sat and watched his father be sentenced today. I saw some light shining in a lot of people's eyes today, and that's coming from you, God. And it's directed to these January 6ers and all their families, and we know it is, and that's why we're fighting for them, and we will continue to do that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Or as the DOJ would say, liberty and justice for some.
Liberty and just us, right? Just us.
yeah.
They're the only ones who get justice, just us. So, yeah, the court schedule today, and by the way, sorry. The big thing was today was the resentencing of Guy Ruffett. Just so everybody knows, he was sentenced some time ago and was in the middle of serving his 87 months for his involvement on January 6th, and one of his main charges was the 1512C2 charge, which was the Enron era statute that created a 20-year felony for destruction of records. This was when the Arthur Andersons and all the big firms were destroying, I don't know if Arthur Anderson did it or not, but people were destroying documents. Congress found out about it and said, heck, no way. And they created this 20-year charge for destruction of documents and obstructing an official proceeding, which was Congress's investigation. So the brilliant DOJ attorneys figured out how to turn that into a rally that turned wild. And anyway, that was overturned in July, and it took until now, January 6th, for Guy Ruffett to come back in front of a judge, have that charge removed, and be resentenced. And you will not believe what you hear about that. The other J6 case I attended was a gentleman named Michael Roberts, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about him. And then this afternoon, almost at the same time, was the Purdy brothers and uncle. So Greg Purdy, Matt Purdy, and Robert Turner. Maybe it wasn't uncle. Is he uncle?
Uncle, yeah.
Wow. He's a pretty young uncle, I think. I just noticed today. I wonder what his age is, but he didn't look like an older uncle, put it that way. You know, might have been just some.
Purdy's young.
Yeah, Purdy's fairly young. So anyway, we'll get into all of that, and I guess we're also going to connect with the DC Vigil. So I want to check my phone and see when they're going to be calling in. Are we good as far as you can tell, Maurice?
So far, so good. Sky is clear out, so it should be better than it was.
Good, because I got that Elon thing out there, but I don't really want to do it. The DC Vigil starts at 7:30 when it gets, so they're actually probably still just setting up, but I think they're going to call us around 7:40. So we'll connect somewhere around that time frame. I just wanted to finish the schedule as I know it. So this is from Heather, who coordinates with the guys that call in from DC. So looks like we're going to have some calls from 8 to 9, and so that should work out well. We may hear from Olivia. She tried. She said she was going to call last week. She may try this week, and if she does, I could come in at any time.
No, I was just gonna, the only reason I need the mic to make sure people could hear what I was asking. Guy Reppert, I believe, was the first man sentenced, and I just wanted to, I think I know the answer, but just to be sure, was he brought back for resentencing only because of the Supreme Court ruling? Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
That's a great question, because there was another charge that's out there that was related to January 6th, having to do with the search of his home. They found a silencer that he did not have the proper license to possess, and apparently there's a charge that's out there, but there was discussion around that early on, and the judge decided, upon input from both the government prosecutors and from the defense, that it really wasn't going to impact the proceedings today, so they just left that. And besides, they had a problem getting a hold of it. So there's some charges that are out there, but no one seemed to be able to produce them for our government. There were calls that were made yesterday and calls not returned. It sounds like maybe the prosecution waited to the last minute to try to obtain that information. So anyway, it didn't happen. All right. Wow, got an echo back there, big time. You hear it?
Yeah. That's not for us.
Is that on?
So,
It's on. It's on.
It's awful.
That one's on. John, can you pick it up?
Yeah.
Just test.
Test, test.
Yeah, okay. Let's try that.
Hola. So good.
Something's making it hum. We'll figure it out. We've got pretty good speeds here, 17 FPS, 6,000 kilobytes. That's pretty good from what we normally have. So let me know, Maurice, if anyone starts to talk about this doesn't need to be on.
That's what's causing it. There we go. I did see some good news today. The court set a trial date for Mickey Withoff's wrongful death case for June 20th, 2026. That's a long ways away.
very long ways away. Maurice, I'm going to share my screen for a little bit. I just wanted to pull up a couple of things. Is there anything you wanted to share or not?
Not at the moment.
All right, then I'm just going to do it and then we'll shut it off at some point.
She'll tell us herself.
fellow, I've got some more Michael Byrd stuff.
You can go ahead.
While Tom's taking care of the tech end, is this working? No.
Yeah, turn it off.
Oh, that's always a good idea.
I turned it off because it's competing with one.
It doesn't work, it doesn't work.
As far as the ongoing Michael Byrd saga, we talked at the last vigil about some of the more serious things that came out of the congressional investigation. And one of the things we discussed is that he could not pass a background check for a firearm. Now, there's a reason for that, obviously. And my question is, how can you be a police officer if you can't pass a firearm check? Why was he allowed to have a firearm? I think you all already know that he's gotten in trouble over several things, firing into a fleeing vehicle in his neighborhood. I guess it was supposedly a carjacking. Byrd claimed that he fired because they were trying to run him over, but both bullet holes were in the back of the car. So unless they were driving in reverse, that's kind of problematic. He was also in trouble over getting in a fight at a football game, I guess with another Capitol Police employee, and somehow he evaded charges on that also. Just the last couple of days, it's come out that not only did he get promoted to captain, but he got a $37,000 retention bonus. Well, it's come to light since then that those retention bonuses are supposed to range between $2,000 and I believe $10,000 was the highest. Well, now the Capitol Police Union has found out about all this, and they're raising holy hell because of all this preferential treatment. And it now turns out that a big part of this is some of the Senate Democrats intervened on Byrd's behalf. So this is the man that murdered Ashley Babbitt in cold blood, and he's got the Democrat politicians going to bat for him. As I think you know, he was put up in a private accommodations at Andrews Air Force Base for several months when they wouldn't release his name. And
With the dog.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought. That's okay. Anyway, let's see, where was I? Okay, all right. I'm back. Okay, at Andrews, after several months, they said, "Look, Byrd, you gotta leave," because he was complaining about security threats. Now, bear in mind, no one even knew who his name was at this point, and would not have known what his name was, except against orders, he did a interview with CNN. He had been told not to interact with the press. So that's how the public found out about Byrd, by his own hand. And evidently he argued with the government about not wanting to leave Andrews. He then conned them into an extremely expensive security overhaul of his residence, all type of security thing, and he's still demanding security. Part of this is based on supposed threats, but none of those threats ever came out until he disclosed his own identification publicly in a CNN interview. So anyway, it looks like he not only got away literally with murder, but that he's being protected and pampered by the Democrat senators. So anyway, there's new information still coming out. There are 3 complaints in his personnel file that are empty. So evidently somebody destroyed the evidence. Now there's got to be some kind of paper trail or something. And you can bet if he was affiliated with the Republicans, they would have already found him. So anyway, that's my ongoing Michael Byrd update, and I'm sure there'll be more exciting news to come.
Did you mention that he wants a pardon?
No.
I'd heard that Michael Byrd had indicated he's requesting a pardon, so that'll be very interesting if that happens.
Why not?
I was hearing that on pardons that there's an awful lot of people out there screaming, "Me too, me too."
Right. All right, folks, I'm sharing the NPR website, the NPR January 6th website that is updated on a weekly basis except for this week. It was on, the last update was the 27th, I think, of November. But anyway, if you go in there, you can search for folks, and this brings up Michael Tyler Roberts, who was one of the individuals that was sentenced today. Michael, according to court documents, asked for last-minute vacation time from his workplace for January 6th, from the 5th through the 7th in 2021, and he subsequently traveled from Tennessee to Washington, D.C., along with Ronald Colton McAbee, who would later be arrested in August of 2021 and charged with assaulting a federal officer. Roberts was identified in videos from the Capitol grounds by a distinctive red sweatshirt with MAGA written in large white letters. Now, there might have been a couple of those there. He was allegedly seen on closed-circuit TV at 3:54 p.m. at the mouth of the tunnel leading into the Capitol building, pushing and grasping with officers blocking the entrance. His charges were the normal 4 or 5 charges that folks get, and he pled guilty to one charge: assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers. His judge was Judge Mehta. Judge Mehta, I've seen him before during trial or sentence. He is very soft-spoken. You almost cannot even hear what he has to say. Certainly the stenographers up front and the attorneys are hearing it, but back in the gallery in the back, it's very hard to understand him. But from the best that I could get, here's what happened. Michael took to the microphone and was given a chance to his allocution, basically, to talk about, you know, what he felt about the whole event. And he pretty much came out and said that he was sorry for everything that happened, and he apologized to anyone involved, including prosecution, the court, everyone, defense attorneys, so on and so on. And he talked about how the pandemic pretty much destroyed everything for him, including his ability to make money for his family and to support them. And he had other issues going on in his life, and he and his wife, and marriage on the rocks, and so on, and all these reasons that he was in a pretty bad place in that time. Otherwise, I think that he had lived a pretty good life, according to the judge. When he got into the sentencing guidelines, they were looking around at 24 to 30 months. The thing that the judge admonished him for, he said, the problem is that his statements of going to D.C. to stand in the gap and maybe not even come home. It was a battle of good and evil. It was a battle of right versus wrong. He was in, as I indicated, at the mouth of the Lower West Tunnel. And he attempted to strike officers and get to the front. So basically, if you dig into this website, if you look on this central area here, it says source documents. Click on that. That brings you right up to the Department of Justice documents. It's a 15-page document in there. Lists the entire, it's the charging documents, and it's got photos and everything to go with it. But here's, I'm looking at, maybe I can pull that up and get to it real quick. Yeah. So here you go. You get, I'm going to scroll real fast, but you get lots of photos of the tunnel and who was in there and so on. And this is what they do with all these. It's very fascinating. You should spend the time. But here on page 14 of 15 is a picture, figures 9 and 10, of Roberts grappling with officers. Now notice, he is horizontal. He is literally crowd surfing to the front of the line. This is the first crowd surfing J6er I've heard about, so I don't know if I've just been not looking at enough tapes, but that's the first time I've seen crowd surfer. Crowd surfing is a real thing in a supposed insurrection. So anyway, he did ultimately plead guilty to the one charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers. So all said and done, the judge's sentence was a little bit more here. So the judge said, again, he's hard to hear, but he also has a very sort of chopped up way of speaking. He says, I don't think, I've been doing these J6 cases for years. By all accounts, you were a pillar of your community, but somewhere along the way, you got lost. You listened to the propaganda, and there was a lot of it. And he said, the truth is, for about 3 minutes, you were as disruptive as anyone else on January 6th.
3 whole minutes?
You only get away with that in a courtroom in a closed bubble, because if you got everything that every other courtroom was saying, that every single case was the worst case on January 6th, I'm telling you, that's a theme that you'll find. When we go back through these records in history, every single one of these was just awful. They were the worst. But the events of that day, and you're rolling it, your defense counsel asked me to look past that 3 minutes, but I just can't do that. And then the judge started again talking about other J6ers and their sentences in order to ensure that there was a sense of fairness in the whole thing. So again, this is what they do during the lead up to the sentencing. It's a discussion around the charges themselves. It's a discussion around the enhancements and back and forth between the government, between the probation representative who helps to set the guidelines. It's fascinating, folks. I tell you what, you got to go to see one of these sentences, one of these trials. They're happening every day. It seems like you can get there. It's not hard to get in and out of there, but you should really go to see for yourself what this completely corrupted, convoluted justice system is doing. I mean, it's mind-blowing. So finally, the sentence that was given was 15 months. And he used the words remanded to prison. I thought he was going to take him that very afternoon, but they set a self-report date of January 25th, 2025. January 25th, 2025. I found that of great interest that they decided to use that date. You got something?
A bunch of thoughts.
Go.
I see a lot of that where the 20th seems to be a line in the sand where suddenly the channel on the TV is going to change, and they're just playing all the way up until the hook drags them off the stage. That's really what's going on here. I mean, they're going to torture this guy psychologically here up until the 20th. Because I think that by the time the sun goes down on the 20th, these guys are going to be released or well on their way to being released. So, I mean, here's a judge that's doing his thing. We got to keep all the check marks in, because you know that if he said, you're going to turn in now and you're going to start serving your sentence now, it would have had a different optic to it.
Well, it is all about optics, that's for darn sure. So I want to switch off of this for a second. We're going to come back to the other sentences. I also have an update for our viewers that don't know about Jonathan Copeland. That sentencing was on Monday, and I was able to attend that as well. So I'll talk about that a little bit. But before I forget, I want to get this out for everybody. And Maurice, I'm hoping you guys can see full screen pretty well what's up, right?
That's up, it's pretty good, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm putting up for everybody the 1AFilmFest.com, First Amendment Film Festival. It is out. The videos are out for anyone to go and get them. $25, easy to sign up. I just did it tonight. First Amendment Film Festival. You could probably scan that if I could hold it still. And then this is a list on the left-hand side of all of the films, and I've got them up on the screen. But Plandemic 3, What is Treason? Let My People Go, Between Lambs and Lions, The Iris Echo, Writing History, 1,000 Days of Terror, J6, A True Timeline, The War on Truth, Bloody Hill, Into the Light, and The Crucible of Donald Trump. Simple and easy to go in and just go to 1AFilmFest.com, and just very easy to sign up, put in your name, a password, a credit card, and you can instantly start watching them. So you can go in here and click on any one of these movies. J6, A True Timeline. I highly recommend this one for people who maybe know a little bit about J6, but not a lot. This video was put together, Daniel Goodwin, David Summerall, Jason Rink, and Paul Escadon right here. Daniel Goodwin is a J6er. He worked closely with David Summerall. They've had a collaboration for some time, in fact, even prior to January 6th. J6, A True Timeline, starts with time-stamped videos from around the Capitol starting at 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And I believe you'll hear a true and unbiased statement of facts that occurred, including videos that occurred at the times that they did. And it's probably one of the best that's been put together. And I have to give a shout out to J6er Cash Kelly, because on my drive back on the 2.5 to 3 hour drive back from DC, I happened to be listening to Cash Kelly's X podcast, and he was playing this. And as he put it, rather than me, watching this, sitting here for over an hour and watching this and then coming back and doing a video on it, why don't I just do it at the same time? So he would pause every now and again as he was doing this and say, oh, that's true. Yeah, I was there. I saw that. Yeah, and so on and so on. He could validate and add color to the whole thing as it went along. So Cash, you did a great job with that. I was so happy to hear it. Again, Cash Kelly. I want to really get these X handles out there. I think we're doing ourselves a disservice. I've heard of yours, but I don't follow you. I don't think I've ever seen a post of yours. Now maybe we don't want to because we're too close together, but you know what I'm saying? There's so much that's out there. So K-A-S-H, he's a J6er here at Northern Neck for about, a day, because he was so friendly. He went and talked to everybody, and he was too easy to get along with. He would have ruined the whole house of cards here in Northern Neck.
Yeah, I saw that when it first came out. It's really.
I'll get it for you. Yeah, Cash Kelly. But go to the 1A Film Festival. $25 gets you 1 year's use of all of these films, and they encourage you to have watch parties. Get your family together, get your friends together. Pick the movies you like the most. Again, this is everything from January 6th to the election integrity to the medical issues that we've had ever since 2020. And it's just a plethora of information put together by some really brilliant filmmakers. And I was fortunate enough to actually be there in Texas in September when they did this first presentation live. So I've been just waiting for this day. I think it was just this week that they finally are able to have the post-production package available. $25, you get it. You can also sign up for $100, I think, and that gives you certain discounts and other advantages too. So either way, 1afilmfest.com. All right. I think that's it for the television. I'm going to turn this off. Anybody got something else?
Yeah, I think Cheryl mentioned at the last Northern Neck Patriots meeting about a new book that's come out with Robert Morse and who else was it? Jake Kelly Meggs. And is this the one question remains?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I haven't gotten a copy yet, but I just wanted to bring that up again. Like I say, Cheryl brought it up recently, and I probably am stealing her thunder. It just occurred to me by doing this. But anyway.
I checked, it's not out yet, I don't think.
We'll turn that on now.
To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hit. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hey, is that Olivia?
It is. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Good. Yeah, doing good. Everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, give us a second. We're getting there. Speak again. I think we might have you better now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's way better. Right?
Hear me now.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think we all did over here, and we certainly were thinking of you all in there and Did they do anything for you special, or did you guys just whip up some things at a commissary yourselves?
Yeah, that's kind of what they gave us like a special Thanksgiving tray, but we had actually really good Thanksgiving. We all came together, put our tables together, had a sheet for tablecloths, and everybody made a dish, and we had like a potluck type thing, and had an actual sit around the table kind of Thanksgiving. It was really nice.
Oh,
We
great.
kind of just cooked all day and ate all day, and
That's
like
awesome.
I'm thankful for it. So yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah. Now, how many are with you in your pod?
There's 37 right now, all right, 30. More people got in a fight yesterday, so there's now 33.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a weekly occurrence of mopping up pepper spray in this place. It's been a little bit crazy. I don't know if it's the holidays or what, but it's all right.
So what? So tell us more about that. So when some people get into it with one another, that's how they break them up, and then you all are kind of left with it.
Exactly. So as soon as somebody starts throwing a punch or somebody gets into it, they just whip out a can of pepper spray and spray people down until they stop or don't stop. And sometimes they empty multiple cans, and then they're taken on lock until with pepper spray and everything on them, stuck in a cell until they actually finally get a shower. Usually it's like either the next day or late that evening. So they're kind of stuck. But anybody who's around them or anybody, like yesterday, it was in the gym, and so they sprayed them all down, and they were moving. So it kind of got the whole place sprayed down. Everybody was hacking and coughing because we were all stuck in there until all the COs came. And the white shirts, they called everybody down there, but they didn't let us out of the building. So they had people, throwing up and stuff, coughing. It was pretty bad because they couldn't breathe with all the pepper spray in the air. So yeah, that's usually how it goes. Then we get sent back to our unit. As soon as we get back, 2 more people get into it. This is continuation. And so then the whole unit gets shut down. And so, yeah, it was a little bit of a mess yesterday. But yeah, that's unfortunately how it goes in here. You get used to the smell of pepper spray. And usually, thankfully, I should say, I haven't ever been the target of it, but usually I always end up having to clean it up because I'm on detail. So.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great. Well, I mean, is that hard? Do they give you anything that cuts it or something, or you just have to?
Yeah, it's like an orange cleaner that's like a degreaser, and that's what kind of gets it off. But they definitely stain because it's so orange. It stains on the wall and stuff for quite a while until it finally wears out, or after we clean it like multiple times. So you always know when somebody gets into it because they leave their smears of pepper spray everywhere, which it's sad, honestly, because it's usually, drama. You get so many people from so many different places, and a lot of times it's egged on by different, situations in the jail. Emotions are high anyway, so COs egg it on sometimes, and end up getting into it, or if you get it, a CO can disrespect you, but you're not allowed to disrespect them, that kind of thing. Sometimes they'll, have enough and they go off on them and they just get out. But yeah.
Well, I'll get off of that last comment. You said it that they don't once you're sprayed, if you're part of the melee and you get sprayed, they let you kind of drench in it for hours, right? That's a tactic.
That's what's sad. Like you can't just wash it off usually right away unless somehow you get back to your pod before and is able to take a shower real quick, which happens, sometimes if you're kind of helping break it up or something, but if you're in it, usually you get handcuffed and taken right out, and then you're stuck in a holding cell where they keep you on lock, and they'll let you out whenever your time comes back around to get a shower one by one, but yeah, it's hours.
Gotcha.
Which I know y'all probably are aware of that with the guy, dealing with the mid-side. They've had a lot of have to be stuck in, whether it's their fault or not, like it doesn't matter. You're just, everybody who's in it, whether somebody jumps you or what, you get taken to the hole, and then they have like 15 days to figure out who's guilty, who's not, kind of thing, to see the board or whatever, and then they decide who gets to come back and have stay in, but
Right.
yeah, pretty crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
But despite that, it's been crazy, but it's still been good at the same time. I got a good group of people here with me, good group of girls that we're all on the same tier, kind of look out for each other, and we come together at night and play games, and we have classes together. We're able to get off the unit quite a bit. So I was, thankful for that. Last 2 days, I had a birthday the day after Thanksgiving, and so they made it was sweet. They made I was gone off the unit doing a special project. I'm trying to do a mural in the GED classroom. They finally approved it, so I've been working on that. And so I come back and they surprise me. They jump out. They have like flowers they made with paper and put candy in the middle of each of the flowers and had a peanut butter jar for the vase. And they all made cards and different things for me. And so it was really sweet and special, kind of. Just despite where you are, you can still make it, good and have that kind of family support. Even like home, you can make it.
That's
Bad place bearable.
That's fantastic, and happy birthday too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And happy birthday to everybody else. I hear there was a lot of birthdays this week.
Yeah.
And a lot of trials going on. My friend of ours, Tom Osborne, just got done with his trial yesterday. My brother was up here for that. Guilty on all counts, of course, and it was in his case. That's why I just want to bring out that his case was such a absolute ridiculous. If anybody should have been found, not guilty, and it showed kind of the abuse that the park police had on, the different ones that were there, and the retaliation that egged on a lot of the riot that broke out. That case would have, and so the fact that the jury still, despite the ridiculous evidence they had against him, still found him guilty is just absolutely just shows how twisted this is. And one side is just, you're not going to get a fair trial in D.C. right now.
I don't think anybody who's taken a jury trial has gotten any kind of fairness to you.
No, the jury or I think bench trial either. There's been one or two counts that's been dropped, but it's still the sentencing is where it really shows in the bench trial. They still get these ridiculous,
Right.
way out of overblown sentences that if you were actually a fair judge, you're supposed to weigh, the character of the person, all the different factors that go into it, and it's just, they just look at the letter of the law and give you the max pretty much.
Right.
It's
Have you talked to Nicole yet? Are you going to talk to Nicole tonight?
I'm going to try to call in. I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not with the schedule, but I talked to her a couple of days ago. But no, I heard her husband went to trial today too for resentencing.
Yeah, resentencing. So he ended up with 80 months. He had an 87 originally. So the 1512C charge is taken away, and it's only a reduction overall of 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. But Guy did get to speak, and he probably didn't help his cause any, but I think he certainly probably feels better about getting things off his chest, and he let the judge have it. So he pretty much told them what he thought of the whole process.
Well, I think that it's on record, and that's what needs to happen. They're going to give us what they're going to give us, and that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
It's somebody's going to speak up if we don't. We're the ones on the hot seat, and they're going to give us the absolute ridiculous sentence anyway. We might as well get our side of the story out and tell the truth. And whether it hurts or not.
There were several people there for the first experience of seeing either a trial or a sentence, and afterwards they came to the same conclusion, is that the judge knew exactly where she wanted to land in the end, and the whole 2.5 hours was just a little bit of a song and a dance to get there. So,
right.
Yep.
And that's how it's been, I think, with almost all of these. Like, the lawyers are like, oh, you can't do this, can't do this. I'm like, they already know what they want to give us. They already have it set in their mind. It's going to be guilty on all charges compared to all the other ones that have gone in. So we might as well try to, stand up for what's right and stand on principle and not, just take these ridiculous plea deals they try to do. And we're taking it to trial, and that's how we, me and my brothers now look at it. And it's it's been, you know, just eye-opening to see how far our judicial system has gone. And I'm praying. That's what I'm excited. I feel like, you know, we've been put in these places, and we didn't choose. You know, we didn't choose it, but God's allowed us to be here. And thanks to you, and thanks to the ones at Freedom Corner and different ones, y'all been a voice for us and shed so much light on, you know, the plight that America has gone through. So many different Americans have been put through. You know, families have been torn apart because of. But now it's, you know, that we've been put in a place where now it's our duty. You know, what I have a feeling like the new year coming up is going to be, you know, good news. I'm praying, you know, God's going to use that to hopefully get us all out, and then the real work starts. You know, we can't just go home to our families and live our lives, you know, and ignore what we see. It's going to be our job now to start stepping up and do something about it. You know, continue. You know,
You're absolutely right.
You know, as a younger generation coming up, and I feel like, you know, we've let my dad's generation kind of do most of the work, and it's usually the meetings and stuff. It's the older generations, and that, you know, we got to stop that. It's time for us to step up. God's put us, you know, younger people in the place. I'm not young anymore, but younger in a place that it's our job to, you know, carry that torch now. It's our job to start standing up in the, you know, the places to shout in the streets, tell people to turn around. And I'm just thankful for the ones who have, you know, gotten out and have continued to fight and continue to go and carry that torch and banner, you know, wave the flag in the bridges. The bridge is down, so to speak. We got to do something about it. And, you know, I just reflected over all the things that I'm thankful for this year. That is one thing. Thankful for y'all and all the work and tireless efforts that you put into, you know, fighting for us. And it means so much, and I couldn't be, I can't express how thankful I am. But, you know, just the fact that you come out every week and speak, you know, for the ones, and there's nobody even in Northern Neck anymore at the moment, but you continue that effort, and you haven't, you know, let it die out, the candle to die out, and I'm thankful for that, and pray that soon the efforts won't be in vain, that we'll be able to meet together and have that reunion and meet all of you, thank you in person, and, you know, hug everybody's necks. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. But
It is. Yeah.
And still, I just want to, you know, thank everybody and thank all the listeners and the ones that have, you know, wrote letters and made phone calls, and when you see the you know, I know a lot of it, even us before we got here, we came, you know, later on. We've only been here this last year, but there's guys that were in here for, you know, 4 years.
Right.
And a lot has changed just because of, you know, the list.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Hey,
And advocating for the men, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to call.
Hey, did you get the books from Hal Woltz?
I have, the mail has been backed up. I just got today mail that was from October 29th, so I have not I haven't got anything in a while.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what we're about to start.
I've got a couple books
Okay.
coming your way, so you'll get them
Okay.
eventually. Yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we're about to start putting grievances in, and hopefully we'll get some mail going. Because it's not just me; it's everybody in the jail. It's backed up about a month and a half. So
Wow.
hopefully we'll start getting it soon.
Yeah. All right. Well, what else you want to say, Olivia? Thank you so much for calling. I'm glad we got to speak to you.
Hi,
Yeah.
Olivia.
Well, just hey everybody there.
This
Just
is
want to say
Cheryl
Merry
Jackson.
Christmas.
You probably didn't
Oh.
get the birthday card since you didn't get,
Hopefully soon though. I got one letter today, and so that's a good sign that hopefully something's about.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
oh, well.
All right.
She
Well,
didn't get the letters back from October.
you've been sending a lot of letters, right?
Well, the birthday, I always try to make sure I get the birthday letters out early so that they would get it in time, because you never know how long it's going to take. So if it's early December, I get it out in the middle of November or something like that, 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks in advance. And Dominic Box is going to have his birthday in 10 days or something like that, the 17th, a couple days before yours.
Hey, one of the things I wanted to try to do, but still there. Are you able to pull up the DC Vigil? I mean, multi-screen kind of thing going on. I was curious. I wanted to hear Nicole talk about Guy's sentence, but I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to make that connection. So I guess I'm going to have to go into it. I just gave away the end result. Guy Reffitt got 80 months in his reduction of sentence, 80 from 87. So. I'm worried about, it's almost, 8 o'clock, right?
So we're going to close this off. 7:49.
All right, well, we'll have some calls coming in a few minutes. Just want to say that, yeah, Guy Reffitt had Judge Dabney Friedrich. That was also the same judge that Jonathan Copeland had on Monday. Same judge that, same judge that David Koontz had on Monday when he pled guilty. I didn't speak about him yet, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about Monday real quickly. Jonathan Copeland was Monday, December 2nd, and I won't go into all of the things because I don't have my glasses and I can't read my own writing. But in the end, Jonathan Copeland was received, I wrote down two things, 71 months, and then I heard somebody say 69. Do you know what he got? It was 61 or 69 or 71?
71.
71 is what Cheryl has, according to something. And then he's been shipped out. He's in Philadelphia already. So do you want to talk about any of that? Because I'm hogging the mic here, and I'm just worried we're not going to get everything in that we
I
need.
just have this one little thing.
Well, go ahead. I got to get this sweater off.
Well, last night, Suzanne Monk was talking, and Suzanne Monk is the author of How to Pardon the J6ers, a comprehensive strategy guide for President Donald Trump. Anyway, she spoke at Freedom Corner, and she had some things she had to say. And it was very encouraging, and I shared that with a bunch of people today, or last night. She said, justice is coming. That she had many conversations with many activists, such as Ann Vandersteel, who's doing the work on the front lines and behind the scenes, and wanted everybody to know that the J6s need to be ready, and they will be freed soon. When President Trump takes the oath, he is going to mention the J6ers in his inauguration speech. She said that she keeps an up-to-date database of all the information on all the J6ers, and this was given to General Flynn yesterday. And the database also includes every judge and every prosecuting attorney that was involved in the sentencings of the J6ers, so that they can analyze and take care of these judges and attorneys who wronged the J6ers. And Pam Bondi, Trump's new Attorney General, and the influencers will make sure that justice is served, and that she reported this to the Boston Globe yesterday. And Maurice had to add, he goes, the wolf is on its way. And I don't know if you know what that's from, Pulp Fiction.
I'd like to make a quick comment about Pam Bondi. On the edition of the Sentinel for December that just came out yesterday, there's a front page article with Pam Bondi's picture posing with my father, who passed away last November. He was a good friend of hers and worked on a lot of legislative matters with her in Florida. And I remember him talking about her, how fierce she was and how fearless. She was a big help to him and the veterans down there. She was always ready to assist in any way she could. she had a major part of cleaning up the drug problem in Florida. For a long time, they had some serious problems, but they've got it all cleaned up. So now I have never personally met Miss Bondi, but like I say, my dad talked about her in glowing terms. So I think the J6ers are going to be well served with her, and that along with Kash Patel, I think a lot of things are going to be coming out, and one in particular is Guy Reffert that Tom was just talking about. On the day of the event, he was fiercely assaulted by police officers. He was shot with rubber bullets several times, sprayed with mace, and all those things are unjustifiable assaults. So don't be surprised if the hunters don't end up being the hunted, because a lot of the things they did to these innocent people are illegal. And earlier I did a little quick math. They've charged 1,500 people out of a crowd of over 1 million. And even the Democrats don't dispute that crowd size. Well, if you divide 1,500 into 1 million, that comes out to 666. A coincidence, I'm sure, 666. Anyway, how can it be a violent mob running an insurrection when only 1 out of 666 people there were charged? So anyway, that's just something to think about. They characterize it as though the whole crowd was in a fury, and only a tiny fraction of those were charged. And of course, most of those charges are manufactured.
Yeah, I heard somebody say on the J6 timeline, I believe it was today, that I was listening to again for the second or third time. One of the police officers said, "We've got to wait for more backup. We can't go out there. It's 50,000 to 1." You know, and I think he was probably accurate. And so that's what they did. They waited for quite a long time.
Well, only a small percentage of the total crowd were even at the Capitol grounds to begin with. Also, a lot of the assaults you see were never charged, and of course those were government assets and Antifa. Now, some of the Antifa people were charged, but if you compare their sentences to the J6ers, and I've used Zachary Alam as a particular example, they tend to get much lighter sentences than the J6ers. So that kind of makes you wonder too.
Is it zoomed in?
Not yet, but I want to zoom in when and if Nicole starts to speak. So I just also wanted to say that I'm wearing this shirt tonight for a particular reason. Medical censorship kills. And YouTube, this is all just for educational purposes. Repeat, educational purposes. This is what we're doing here. Because they'll take down your video if they don't like how you said things. So please don't take down our video. And we've been through re-indoctrination training. So we were actually joking about that when we started the podcast. I wish I would have kept the questions, the examples that they gave, the test that I took for whether or not I learned the proper way to speak about information, medical information versus medical misinformation, and how to recognize the differences. It's very interesting. It's almost worth getting a strike to be able to go and do it, just to see.
I'd like to be re-educated.
Re-education camp.
And I'd like to know about white rage, and I'm a white man. Oh, I'm sorry, I stole that line from General Milley.
General Milley, you sounded like General Milley. So, yeah, they're just starting with the prayer, it looks like right now. Yes.
She usually talks right after the prayer.
Freedom Corner's just on that, so, yeah, okay. Then maybe there's a way that we can get the volume up. I mean, people are probably watching both, but that would be cool. vigil, I just, when Nicole speaks, I would like to hear her if we can.
Yeah, well, he usually is very low anyway.
I guess the other thing, going back to Michael Roberts' sentence today, his 13-year-old son was in the courtroom, 15 years old now. He was 13 years old when his father got arrested. Had to be difficult for him, but he was a brave young man. He got through it. He put his head down at one point during part of the proceedings, and he was kind of probably just looking at the floor, I think is what he was doing. But for the most part, he really stayed in the mix of it, and had to be hard, had to be so hard. Couple things on John Copeland, jumping around again, back to Monday. And Maurice, tell me anytime you want to just take over or anything.
I'm just
please.
waiting for somebody to do something besides the quiet part over there. They're still being quiet is what I'm saying.
So you guys might remember Jonathan Copeland spoke to us probably 3 weeks ago. And you might remember he was saying that they were giving him the runaround. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what the runaround was about? I'll help you because I do. I didn't remember, but I remembered him saying it. And so the runaround was that his attorney had to go through an emergency surgery.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they told Jonathan tried to speak, but the judge would not allow him to speak. All right, they did not allow him to speak to counter that. So basically, he was forced to go into that sentencing. Sitting on his right was a public defender that he did not like, who also was not present at the PSR, the pre-sentencing report. Jonathan's attorney was present at that, but was not, because of recovering from surgery, was not able to be there in person. So she was on a Zoom call. Now, I think she did a fantastic job pushing back on the judge just about everywhere she possibly could, preserving their right for appeal. It's the job of a good attorney to make sure those things get back on the record even during sentencing. So the judge got a little bit upset about it, and at one point came to the conclusion that the PSR had not been correctly reviewed with Jonathan, sort of admonished his attorney, again, the lady who just went through surgery, emergency surgery and recovery, and said, you all need to take the next hour and go ahead and review that, and we'll come back after 11:30 or whatever it was. So in that period is when she went ahead with David Scott Kuntz. Someone's talking, you don't know who?
We're not doing anything.
Well, let me finish what I'm saying. Okay, go ahead. I don't remember what I was saying, but it doesn't matter.
Just about the Copeland, how the attorneys were.
The judge wouldn't allow them to do it. So. Well, whose is this that you're looking? Well, whose live stream is this?
Storm.
He always puts stuff up there. You got anybody else you can use?
Not real quick.
Okay. I'd say it's not going to work. Storms is more about his communication with his followers than it is actually filming.
I'm aware.
I think. Yeah. Okay.
I just don't know who else has it.
Okay.
And I'd have to go.
All right, so then I'm going to go ahead. We're not going to worry about it, but Nicole is going to be talking about that tonight, so everybody can tune into the DC Vigil to get the story on her husband. But
Can't you just do a search on Google?
No, that's not. No, it's on, For Ashley is the best place to find all of the live streams, right on For Ashley.
They're on.
All right. So I'll give the summary real high. And so I would say this is important for me to tell you later.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Washington, D.C. Central Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To repeat, your current balance is $19.14. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing? You made it back in time to be able to join us. That's great.
Yeah, we got back a couple hours ago. Come on, how you guys doing over there?
We're doing good. We're going to move our, hang on just a second. Sometimes we get really great signal or you're loud and clear. Sometimes we're not. But go ahead and say something else. I think we got you now.
Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? How's it going,
There you
guys?
go. Loud and clear. Yeah, doing good. Doing good. Question is, how are you?
Yeah,
That was
Gregory.
quite a lot going on today. What was the long and short of it, and why do you have a new status hearing next week?
Yeah, basically today, Uncle Beej and I, we went pro se. We tried to represent ourselves. We had some issues with our counsel. They weren't filing motions that needed to be done. And they were doing things that weren't authorizing them to do. And very minimum contact. They were fairly close. Yeah, you know. But and when we found this out, we filed motions to proceed that way. And we filed a couple other motions as well. And instead of having a sentencing today, they have to respond to those motions. And the biggest part of today was our PSR. We had never seen our PSR, and our attorney filed objections to it without talking to us, which is really strange. But, you know, nonetheless, that gives us 35 days to be able to review the PSR, and it gives us 14 days to respond to it. So 35 days from today we have a sentencing if everything goes right. Now, there's a lot of other problems. The motions that we had actually filed weren't had been filed today, and we have a couple others. So on Thursday, we're going to go over status hearing for those motions, and they're going to see if there's any supplementation that we want to add to it, or any exhibits that we want to add. If that's done, then they're going to have to push it back to another status hearing where we go over those motions. So the long, and I know it kind of sounds complex, I don't mean to get too into the thick of it, but basically we're going back and forth on some motions that kind of should have been resolved by our last council, and now we're making it happen. Yeah, and that's the bad thing about the last council, just kind of explaining what the situation is, you know, so that's why I was kind of confused today.
Being in here, being with the other jurisdictions, the big sergeant, essentially Gregory. I took a niche to it and learning a lot about law and figuring out where they missed a couple steps, but step in and like Cardi always said, you're going to do the best job for yourself. You're going to represent yourself the best.
Well, you guys did great, and you might want to get a little closer to the microphone if you can. But Greg, at one point you were asking the judge, you asked him for a couple of different options. The first one he shut down pretty quickly. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, basically I said to him, hey, the jail has trouble giving us discovery laptops, in order to plug your discovery in to access. They're notorious for taking weeks and weeks and weeks for the people to access it. So I said, in the interest of justice and trying to get this done expeditiously, you really can bring bond, so it might get access to discovery. You can probably just walk on the phone, right? Access it today and get things done as soon as possible, and he immediately denied it. Which is okay. you know? So, you know, we'll see how fast these laptops and we'll see if there's any technical difficulties as well. I mean, Hudson's here, he's a pro se defendant as well. He got the laptop after waiting weeks. He got the discovery after waiting more weeks. And then he's not able to access it because of formatting errors of the computer and the prosecution giving him wrong passwords. He's dealing with all these different crazy things. Really simple things that should only take a day to resolve, but that's just the reality of when you're in prison, you know? So, you know, hopefully we get it done and have proper due process and we get this handled for everything.
So the judge said he talked to the marshal, right, and try to get that freed up on that laptop, correct?
Yes, they try to get it done, and I commend him for that. I commend him for that because you know he was one of the judges that had went to the jail and tried to keep them accountable on certain things. So you know, I try to say nice things to people wherever we can. So that's a nice thing that we get, and I believe him when he says that if the marshal will do it. That's it. So we'll keep asking. Today's Friday, right? We can't expect really anything until probably next week. So. We'll see. What do we think?
Right. Well, that's all you can ask for is that he be reasonable. I mean, when you asked him about bond, he was reasonably quick to tell you, heck no. So he wasn't going to go there. But yeah, I think he'll do what he said. I mean, he seemed honest to me.
Yeah.
I'm not letting any of us out early.
Yeah.
Well, also the fact that he let you stay for your brother, which was great. I'm glad that he allowed that too.
Yeah.
You know.
That was nice of him. He did that. That was really sensible.
Right. Well, fantastic. And you had some people coming in to support you guys. That was great to see. I didn't get to stay around and meet everybody, but I was glad to see that. So it makes a difference, you know.
Hey. Thank you to you for coming out and supporting us. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You know, we talked about it. We walked up to the courtroom. It was kind of a surreal moment. First thing is to see you guys out there, and that makes you feel so much better because when you're kind of coming up from the dungeon, we call it, you get a little bit nervous. You know, you got that deep hitters, right? So seeing you guys take the edge off a little bit, like. Oh, we got people here who got our back. You know, that meant so much. They really did.
Well, that's great.
And, it was our first time in the courtroom since we got remanded.
That's the opposite way out of that door.
Yeah.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
First time back in there. Huh.
First time back in there.
Well, we
I
were.
feel like it was in a dream for a second.
We were going to all hold up copies of the Northern Neck Sentinel, so that way you could know who we were, but we weren't that organized.
You know what? I have horrible eyesight, and I've been at glasses here forever, and I would have had to stare at you guys push so hard. I was nervous that I would look like a fool looking into the crowd, like making a scene trying to look. One of my motions actually asked the judge to tell the jailer to give me glasses. I've been asking for months. Yeah. I'm sorry if we weren't.
Oh, that's funny. It's not funny that they won't give you glasses that you need, but it's interesting that you couldn't see what you thought. But you guys did great. You were calm. You were confident. I don't know. You guys seemed like you. I got in there just a little late. I was watching another sentence go on, and I came in just a little bit late. But you guys seem to have it going on. So I salute you guys for representing yourselves, and you know that's some initiatives. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're definitely pushing Gregory to go get his bar exam. We're going to get out of here.
Mike's still sitting.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So let's see. So Nick, I mean, here's what's going to happen if you don't get your laptop between now and next Thursday. That's going to be a very short hearing, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come.
Well, and that's great that you got that on the record.
Yeah, that'll be a Lambert up to jail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, cool.
How was
So,
your day?
huh?
How was your day? Did you were coming in from another sentence or something else?
Yeah, I came in
The
for
sentencing you were watching.
Guy Reffitt this morning at 9 o'clock. He had his resentencing because they took the 1512C2 charge away from him. So that was 2.5 hours to get to almost a foregone conclusion that they basically took 7 months off his sentence is all they did. So he went from 87 to 80 months.
We got to see Guy down in the dungeon.
Yeah, we love Guy. He's a
Good.
character. He's a good guy.
All right, good. You don't get to talk, you probably just got to wave or something?
Well, we actually were kind of right across or right next to him. So we were able to talk with him, and then we rode in the same car truck that the van back here.
Uh-huh.
We're all together.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
Yep, it was us, him, my brother, everybody. Phil got that. Phil Grillo. Yeah, he got 2 years in prison ever.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let's see. What do you think about
All this
the whole pardon, unconditional pardon everybody versus pardon case by case? Are you guys even thinking about that? What's your mind frame on that?
I think some might issue a proclamation pardon because a lot of people are in different situations in these cases. There's some people that have been sentenced and they've been released from jail. There's some people that have been sentenced they're in jail. Some people are still doing their case. Some are doing their appeal. Some are being still hunted down by the FBI and about to get arrested. A pardon, when you accept it, Supreme Court cases have connotated that although you're not admitting guilt, there is a kind of small implication of guilt as it comes to maybe retribution or maybe the other aspects. Even though you might get a pardon and you're good on the charges, you might not be able to file certain lawsuits or, ways that your rights might have been violated. So you might do a proclamation pardon, which allows you to kind of apply for your pardon, and you have a database of all these people in these cases and apply for it only after you've exhausted your process with the justice system. And when Trump gets in, you need to be a DOJ. So when people appeal, these big fixers are actually going to have a winning battle.
Yeah,
And then they don't have to admit any quote-unquote guilt, it's not really the right word for it, by accepting a pardon, because that's what a pardon will actually do. It's not going to have you 100% innocent, like 99%. So that is what I heard is a possibility happening. I don't know that for a fact, but it might be a proclamation pardon where people can accept the pardon whatever they want, and they don't get stuck in a situation where that pardon is offered to them, and then they feel like they have to deny it, but they want to finish the justice system process.
they'll have the ability to appeal.
Right.
Right. So Flynn got a pardon of innocence, right?
Yeah.
And he never opened it, according to his movie that he put out. He's got it in a sealed envelope, never opened it.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
I think I'm going to frame mine.
Yeah, I think I would frame it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, your brother, how much, is he younger brother, I'm assuming?
Yeah, he's the younger brother. Despite the full face of beard.
Yeah. Well, you do too. You two do have similar facial characteristics. If you can tell your brother, your family, and Bob, you're the uncle though, right? But you're not that much older. You're not like a way older uncle, right?
42, yeah. Talk to my joints, that'd be a little different.
Yeah, you guys look pretty young. You look pretty buff. You guys you're definitely working out and taking care of yourselves in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of the only things we can do here.
Yeah.
Keep our sanity.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Thank you for that conference.
Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No, you guys did great today. I wish I could have seen the whole thing. But and I did not get to stay for your brothers because they started playing all of the usual tapes. The defense started playing the usual
You have
stuff.
1 minute remaining.
So anyway, I'll give you back the minute.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you. We appreciate your support. And, the pardons are coming. We're going to be out of here. We got 45 more days left, and we're all going to be free. And back with our families.
Yeah.
And the country's going to be back on the right track.
Yeah.
We're going to make America, we're all going to make America great again, healthy again.
And the work's just beginning, right? That's what we were talking about with Olivia Pollack just a few minutes ago. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see you on the other side for sure.
Exactly. See you on the other side very soon. Very, very soon.
All right. God bless you guys. Have a great night, okay?
God bless you.
God bless. Take care.
Be safe. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for using Global Link.
All right, Greg Turner and Bob Greg Purdy and Bob Turner. So what did you say? You think that she was speaking before?
Nicole usually talks right after the prep.
It's some lady on their dance show.
Yeah, that was
Well, that was
Nicole.
no, actually that was Sherry was on there when I turned around at one point. So again, I want to say it was a pretty good turnout for Guy Reffitt's resentence here. There were approximately, front page, hang on. God, bless you. So his wife Nicole was there and her 2 daughters came in from Texas, and there was probably about a dozen or 15 other supporters. There were also about 15 people that I would call
right.
15 people I would call on the other side of things, which is still interesting to see these spectators come in for every one of these sentencings and trials. It's just, I don't know. But we're getting another call.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from
John Banuelos.
an inmate at the Washington, D.C. Central Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press. Your current balance is $17.43. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Link.
Hello, hello.
Hi, this is Cheryl from Northern Neck. Is this John?
Hello, yes, this is John Banuelos from right here, over here at DC Jail.
From right here at DC Jail, huh? John.
You're still there, huh?
Yeah.
Still there.
How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Do you have any?
This is Tom, right?
Yeah, this is Tom, and we got Maurice, and we've got John Haynes. John Haynes is the editor of the Northern Neck Sentinel that you guys are reading in there. So yeah, this is 4 of us tonight.
And Cheryl.
Yeah, hello, Cheryl. Hello, everyone. And everyone else that's listening. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, and you had a birthday, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Gratitude.
When was that, a couple days ago? This week?
Yes, on the 4th. On the 4th, it was my birthday.
So that's 2 days ago, right? Today's the 6th?
Yeah, it's the 6th. It's the 6th. Yeah, that's right. You're Sagittarius. We talked about this last time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the 20th. I'm the 20th of December. So
Really? December 20th? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You know how, I don't know, sometimes, as, you know, I like, you know, when you get older, you get like socks and underwear. So you stop celebrating, you just socks and underwear. But yeah, it's good to be alive and doing God's will and right here just chilling, just enjoying. It's almost coming to an end. Everyone seems excited.
Yeah, it's not, you're gonna be, we're coming down to the wire now. It just, clock is ticking. Just 45 more days.
Yes.
Start packing up.
I don't know. I kind of believe it, but I don't believe it until I see it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, but I'm happy that everyone else is happy and everyone else seems so confident. But my survival instincts is always so it's always like 75% is always negative, just in case, you know, just so I don't get my hopes up too high and then bam.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, my survival, that's just the way my mind works. But I'm hopeful and I like seeing other people happy and excited and you know, just, I'm glad. I'm happy and it's been a good adventure.
Well, you've met some great people along the way, other J6ers. Have you met any people in the jail there that you know, have impressed you or you want to talk about?
The people that have impressed me the most, that left a mark, is Dempsey from California, Benjamin Berdu, and Brian Smith.
Yeah, all J6ers though, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're all J6ers. I met him here. And this other guy, Cook, he's in somewhere in Florida. They sent him to Florida. He was a business person. I probably real good guy. Everyone seems to be pretty working on trying to become a better, decent person. We all fall short. You know, there's no one perfect. And I like to see people improving, and I'm just you know, I'm glad that I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to survive, trying to trying to make it back to my kids and my family, and see what other adventure it has out there. Now that I know all this stuff that's going on, I would still like to somehow work with you guys, work with whoever needs help. I know there's a lot of guys out there that probably don't know what they're gonna do, and I definitely, or someone to take care of them when they get old. You know, there's a lot of us, a lot of guys that I see that they're not married, and I wonder what's gonna be of their life, and maybe they could call me and I could take care of them when they're sick or something. Because you never know what happens as well.
It's a community, man.
They could call me and
it's a community, John. It really is. I think that's been developed. You guys, you know, your bonds that you've made inside there with one another as you've come and gone around the country in these different facilities, but it's also the relationships you've made with people like Cheryl, who writes the letters, and all the people that send you, you know, commissary support or, you know, whatever they do, and the rest of us advocating for you. We're all going to be together for a long time. This doesn't end on January 20th. And it's not going to, it can't, because we've got a lot of work to clean this up. A lot.
Amen. And you can sign me up, volunteer me. I'll wherever I'm needed, I'll go. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, and I'm a good worker. So if anybody after this needs me and then needs someone's happening, I'm more than willing to help, and whatever needs to be done, I'll do it, man. Send me, I'll go.
Well, and it's gonna change lives of people that are stuck in the incarceration system. As you know, probably there's high percentages of people that are wrongly convicted that are serving time, or at least they're serving too much time, and that's just the way the system's built. We've got to fix that. We've got to make it so that if you fall into that trap, it's not the end of the world, you know.
Or send them to the military, or I'm pretty sure when they end up to the feds, the computer guys, the hackers, the FBI takes them. But we should take more guys, because I know there's a lot of guys they were prone to aggression, but they didn't know that they could be a police officer or a Marine or a Navy SEAL, and they ended up doing bad, going to the opposite team. But with books and education and discipline, I think maybe we could get some of these guys and I don't know. Yeah, you're right. We need to reduce their time. I think Donald Trump knows that. There is some good guys in the feds that just made wrong choices and need Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. For
and,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your part of the country and where do you live? You might have told us before. I don't remember. I'm sorry, but and what's it like there?
I was in Utah for like maybe 8 years. I've been all over this country, and I'm originally they call it the city of no pity, or they also known as Chirac. But I like to consider myself as country because I work at the farm and I work with animals and I've done everything. So I understand who's country and who's not. I really respect them. You know, I've always wanted, since I was little, I always wanted to be a country, a cowboy. I like to identify and want to be a country guy, a cowboy, you know?
Oh.
But I have roots in the city, and I think there's people that they think they're from the country, but they're like 4, 6, 7 generations of Americans that are just like not country. You know what I'm saying? They've been diluted by the culture.
Yeah.
And then there's some real country that know how to back up a trailer, know how to do all types of stuff in the farm, and they're real. Like Johnny's country, Johnny Pollock.
Yeah.
His country. I can tell because I've been all over this country, and I've been to other places too. So, but country folks are the best folks. They're hardworking, disciplined. I really admire them, and hopefully you see. But I always work for them. You know, I always work for country folks, and I know how hardworking they are, how intelligent they are, and yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you want to get back out to the country somewhere?
What I want to do is, I lost, with all this stuff that's going on, I lost communication with my kids 2 years ago. So I've been battling all this stuff that happened. Once you start exposing darkness, or once you start, you get yourself into some adventures. You know, once you start not doing what everyone else does and start telling the truth, people don't like that, and you get yourself. The devil wants to destroy you. But that's why I love Psalms 37, because even though I've gone through all the stuff I've gone through, I know God had his hand upon my life. They try to talk bad about me. They try to say a lot of stuff that is unfounded, and they're just kind of crazy how they talk. But I'm glad that it's the opposite thing. It's the opposite stuff. It's CNN. There's nothing with Fox News or none of them talking about me. It's always them. So I guess I touched the woke mob, and I really hit them where it hurts. They're really upset, you know?
Yeah. 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 Well, the woke mob. I don't think that woke mob is as big as maybe some people think it is. And I was talking to a friend of mine just recently, who's in a rather liberal area, and he said a lot of them folded like a cheap pup tent or something like that. Some of the people that were really woke, that they were demanding all these kind of weird and odd things, and were big supporters of Kamala Harris, and they went all of a sudden, okay, I guess we need to move on, and figured that out.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, my friend said their biggest worry was how they were going to ride their electric bikes to the Kamala rally, and that's all out the window now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They don't know nothing. they just I don't know. I think it's something with the blood. It's something to do with the DNA.
Well,
right? But I can tell who's who. Like I can tell, man, this guy's postmodernism, progressive, Democrat. I can tell right away. You know, you can tell by the words they use, the color of their hair. They give you red signs right away.
Uh-huh.
And, I think they're on both sides. I think they flip flop. They could be in my grandmother's family's culture, they call them demons. And the American culture that I adopted, that I'm from now, we call them narcissists.
Yeah.
and they love bomb you, they gaslight you, and they get on the social media and they encourage their behavior. They're demonic and they're all that crazy stuff they do in the cities, because it's always in the inner cities. And criminals love Chicago, love New York, love California, love Portland, Oregon, Seattle, all the cities where these people come up with these stupid laws where children could sue their parents and people could dress up as women, and so people just use those laws and use them against their own country. So it might make sense on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, I was probably into my mid-40s before I really ran headlong into a narcissist. In fact, I hired him, and it didn't take long.
They give you red flags.
Oh yeah, they give you red flags, but I kind of laughed at the red flags. I thought they were funny, but
Yeah.
I came to regret it, and I had to take care of the problem eventually. But it took a lot of work and a lot of.
They cause a lot of problems.
Yep.
There's from what I'm seeing, from what I'm learning, there's the praying mantis one that almost I'm a Christian too. Yeah, I'm this. But you can discover those right away. Those right away you can discover those monsters right away. But the other ones are the arachnids, the spider ones that are more. They set their web. When you're focused on the light, you're like a fly focused on the light. They track you. The more you move, the more they squeeze. Those ones I think are like the FBI, but they have their handlers. They have their people that really handle them. But Jordan Peterson talks about all that stuff. I can't explain it better than he does. And the way he explains it, I didn't know about none of this until I became a victim of one of these people. And
You have 1 minute remaining.
So that's where we gotta keep telling the truth and exposing this and just telling the truth by just being cautious, being aware, and that there's a war between the truths of God and the lies of the world, the flesh, and the devil.
Yep.
So we got a couple of seconds now. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, I guess if you guys, I put for my kids the presents and stuff, because you guys sent me. You guys have a Christmas drive.
Yep.
I sent it to the tablet. Hopefully you guys get it. Thank you so much for the Christmas presents for the kids and all that stuff. I love you guys. Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Thank you, John.
God bless.
God bless you. Right. Have a good night.
Okay. Have a good night, man. Thank you.
While he was speaking,
Thank you for using Global Towing.
Nicole wasn't spoken.
Well, I don't know that we want to rewind and play. Anybody can go watch that and rewind it themselves. But it looks like they texted me. But it's so funny that John brought up narcissist, because I was just thinking about a narcissist.
Play some audio.
Not one of my family.
Nicole is not going to speak tonight. So I was thinking of, let's just call this guy Joe. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I described him to him this morning. I sent him a text. I said, Joe is, if there was ever a person who could figure out how to convince a cow to milk itself, give you the milk, and then pay you for the privilege and opportunity of doing so, that would be Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You ever known any of those guys?
There ain't one boy in 1,000 can do it the way it's got to be done.
So we were talking about the Christmas drive, the J6 Christmas drive. So right now there are 46, I can't read my phone, 46 families registered, and $383 per family.
That's great. So what's that math there?
It's $17,619.15. I don't know who donated the 15 cents, but 46 families, and right now 383. They want to get up to $500 per family.
That's what I was going to ask you. I thought that was their goal. So that's pretty great. Just in a few days, they've doubled the amount then. Just probably our last vigil, they weren't at 8,000.
Right, in 10 days. It closes on December 15th, so if you know anybody that has family, reach out to them and get their contact information and register them, because they can't do it.
Can you repeat where it is for anybody who just has no idea?
Go on patriotmailproject.com. There's a big banner, red banner saying register by Christmas drive, and then they follow the instructions. patriotmailproject.com.
Yeah, it's real easy. It's just like if you were to donate money to any other Give, Send, Go. It's quite easy to do.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Washington, D.C. Central Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Washington, D.C. Central Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is $15.71. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Hey, who we got there?
Daniel Ball called.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah, disconnected last week.
Yeah, we did, like 9 minutes into it. We thought maybe we said something wrong, or I don't know what happened. Maybe your battery died.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Then I spoke to our tablets sometimes cut out early to free before.
Yeah. Well, okay, good. Well, I'm glad you were able to call us back now.
Good. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Doing good, nice and warm inside. At least we have our vigils inside now, so
Oh, okay.
we don't
It's a little
freeze
bit cold,
ourselves.
Yeah, it's getting colder out there. It's what, 20s anyway out here where we live in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you guys had heat on, like unstoppable heat, right? Is that still going on?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you guys have some heating problems there?
Heating problem?
That was just in a certain pod, it wasn't
Oh.
in the C3.
Okay, sorry, that was somewhere else in the jail we heard about. There was problems where they had the heat on full blast and it was bad. So I thought that was with you guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm not aware of that. We've had some issues with the food, though, definitely. I'm sure you heard about the rat feces showing up in our cereal
Again?
several times now.
Wow. No, that's a jeez. Wow.
Yeah, that on top of the food being generally horrible, but most of us have got on the kosher diet plan now, which is significantly better than what they feed the general population. But so even on the kosher diet, we've gotten the rat feces, the cereal. So
Crunchies in your cereal.
most of I'm sorry.
You got crunchies in your cereal.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about the textures of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we got rat feces, so terrible. But so Christmas is coming up. It could be our last one in the pod.
Yay.
Seems like.
Well, I hope
Yeah.
so. Better be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Yeah, can't wait to get back to the family, man. Hey, a question. John Millicent, he has been out there with you all.
Not for a little while. He has been with us. When he first got out, we got together. He came to our 2-year anniversary vigil, which was back in October, correct?
Right.
And then, he got taken back into jail because of a parole violation from earlier on.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's still incarcerated? Or?
No, he got out released on Monday a week ago. I think 2 weeks ago, basically.
What month are we?
2 to 3, yeah, it's something like that. So no, he's back out again, but he has a case. He has a case coming up in January, right? What's the date of his court case?
January 27th, he has his trial.
Yep. So he's got 10 years hanging over his head on that parole
really?
violation. Yep.
Wow. It's looking good for him, looking bad for him.
He's hoping that when Trump pardons everybody, that this whole thing will be just erased.
Right. Yeah, sure hope so. I really like John. Good to hear. I was hoping that he might have been with you. Say hello.
Yeah, he can't come here because he has a curfew of 6 o'clock, so he can't come until after all this is over.
But you want to get a message to him, well, at least tell him you said hello. Be happy to do that.
Oh yeah, just tell him sorry to hear about his misfortune with that, and I love him, I miss him, and hope he's doing all right. Hope to see him again soon.
All right, no problem.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's quite a fighter too. I mean, he's really advocating for you guys out here, and you know, and he's willing to go when he can and talk to whomever he can. So, and he's got, you know, just like all of you, he's got some pretty compelling stories. But he's quite the storyteller, right?
He is he's a good speaker.
Yes.
Always enjoy hearing him talk. Really, he's a good communicator.
He is, yeah.
So I hear Adam Schiff talked out of the house tonight.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
That's
I
'cause he was
wasn't even aware that he had so much to keep track of these days. I wasn't aware that he had won, or and he had been selected for the Senate this past race. But apparently he has a Senate spot coming up in January. But he talked out of the House today. I don't really know why, but
That's interesting. Wow. I don't know. I think all these guys on the select committee are going to have to answer for what they did. And hey, I ran into, not literally, but I was in the same hallway as Jack Smith today. Talk about an unassuming, but the guy looks worse in person than he does on TV. So just to let you know.
didn't know that was possible.
He's got issues.
Did you say hello?
No, I did not bother, but he had a lot of people around him. I don't know what they were doing in the courthouse, but they were up to something. I thought about stopping for a selfie, and I thought, no, I'll save that for somebody better.
Right. Hey, question. There's a Christmas for the kids.
Yeah.
You sort of like from Monuelos.
Right.
So where can you get my son's name on that? Should I say that now or?
Yeah, Cheryl's listening. She's going to write it down. Go ahead.
Yeah, my son's name is Eric Ball.
And how old is he?
He's 12 years old.
Okay, I would need to know where to send the presents, so I don't think you want to do that on air.
Sure.
So,
I'm on GPL with you. I'll get an address right to you.
do you know Heather Young? Are you in contact with Heather?
Yeah, I do.
Can you send that information to Heather Young and she'll get you registered?
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Cheryl.
But she would need to know your son's name again and age and address. But right now, they collected about almost $400 per family, so that's really important to get that information to her.
Yeah, thank you to all our supporters that are listening there. I can't express enough how much gratitude I have for you all, and have no way of showing it.
And I'll talk to Heather and have her reach out to you too. So between the two of you, you'll get them registered.
Great, thank you, Cheryl. Okay. So, anything else new that you know about?
Geez, that you should know about? I don't know. You guys, I've been driving all day long or in court, so I don't know. You guys, any breaking news today that you want to share with Daniel?
I can't hardly keep up with it.
You can't. You can just speak over here, John. You can hear. Can you just speak and go ahead?
Yeah, this is John with the Northern X Sentinel. How are you? I guess you've heard about the pardons, obviously, and a lot of legal experts.
Forgive me. I met you there.
Say it again.
Sorry.
Repeat yourself.
Yeah, this is John Haynes with the Northern X Sentinel.
Okay.
As far as late breaking news, I'm sure you're obviously aware of the pardons by Biden. But a lot of political analysts say this is going to make it much more likely that he will be able to do a blanket pardon for the J6ers, which is obvious because they're not going to be able to criticize Trump a whole lot when he's letting off innocent people, whereas Biden just let go a deviant criminal. So it's going to look.
Yeah, I knew that they were looking at doing a bunch more pardons, but I didn't know that it went through with any. Have he actually gone through with some more other than Hunter?
No, but it looks like he's almost certainly going to. So the reason he did Hunter when he did was he was due for a sentencing in a few days, and that would have maybe not stopped the pardon, but of course there would have been a lot more bad publicity for them. But I think the other ones he's going to wait till the last minute, so he won't catch a lot of flack for it. But yeah, I would bet my bottom dollar there are going to be several more pardons, but that will it will help you guys because the public is caught on to their act, and they're going to catch a lot of heat.
Right. I would like to think at this point that I mean, even without Biden making it easier with this, I feel like Trump was going to have her back anyhow, but yeah, you can forget about the flack that he was, I'm sure he's going to get some anyways, but they never had a ground to stand on anyhow, but a shaky ground they thought they had is that, I mean, it doesn't really, they don't have any ground to stand on to give them flack over this. Pardon the American patriots for standing up for a stolen election.
Well,
I don't have any doubt. I really don't have any doubt anymore that we're all going to be home for Valentine's Day.
Well, the public is really standing up for you guys. Joni Ernst, the senator from where's it? Iowa.
I think so. Yeah.
But anyway, she was trying to make some negative comments about Pete Hegseth for the Department of Defense. And she was so overwhelmed by calls from the public that she came back the next day and she's trying to back up. I think it became obvious to her that she was not going to win the upcoming primary. So the public has really rallied behind you guys. And every time something comes up in the news, they just flood the airwaves and the phones. So you're winning over America more and more each day. And the public's really starting to stand up for you guys. It's really hopeful.
That's awesome. I knew the American people were behind it to begin with. Especially once they knew what really happened and were made aware. They've just been held in the dark so long. But the American people love America.
Yeah, they do. They do, and they're like John just nailed it. There's so many people that are fighting for you now, and have seen it. Like it's almost like the veil has been lifted, and I think a lot of people who were those independents maybe could have been swayed one way or the other. Probably even people that were listening to that false narrative all this time are starting to go, wait a minute, they lied to me about that. They lied to us about that. What else did they lie to us about? So I think people are coming over.
Right. Absolutely. Gregory Purdy in here, I'm sure you've talked to him before.
Yep.
He came to me earlier with a statistic, and I gotta believe this is not true, but if it is, so the statistic is that 67% of Democrats want to see his pardon. I find that too big to be true, but said he heard that somewhere.
I saw a poll where it said 58% wanted. So the poll I saw, it was well over half.
Democrats or Americans?
Well, they said self-identified liberals. They didn't go by party, but
Oh, really?
I'm sure the majority of self-identified liberals are Democrats.
No kidding. So 58% of self-identified liberals want.
Right.
How about that?
Supported full pardons.
No kidding. Do you remember where that was from, or that?
No, I think I saved in my bookmarks, but when you get my age, you're lucky if you can remember which door to use, so.
Well, thank you, John. That's great. How about that? Maybe that they meant the old-fashioned liberals, in the old meaning of the word.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Hey, but everybody, thank you all so much for what you do and all the support you give us. I love you all so much. And, yeah, I wish I could express the gratitude that I have for you. I really do.
We're happy to be here for you, and listen, this is about you getting your voice out there. That's why we do this, and we're not going to stop fighting until you guys are home, and then we're not even stopping.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to get ready for 2026.
That's
But,
right.
hey, thank you again, Tom. Thank you, Cheryl and John. Thank you. Thank you all the listeners. Love you all so much. God bless you. God bless America. And we'll talk again soon.
All right.
Okay, take
God
care.
bless
God
you.
bless.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Nicole's probably pretty sensitive.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
We have 5 minutes before the anthem.
Yeah, Nicole's
All right.
spoke for quite a while.
Well,
I mean,
there you go. Nobody can hear.
The screen that's behind us, for those of you who have not seen it yet, that's a vigil from DC. And while we were taking calls, of course, Mickey Whithoff spoke quite a bit, and also Nicole Reffert, whose husband was resentenced today. And we had the sound off, of course, because we're taking calls. But you might want to go back. You can get on 4ashley.com and watch the replay. They presented a birthday cake. I'm not sure who it was for, but it looked like her daughters were there. And anyway, look, I'm gonna watch it, and I just thought I'd give everybody a heads up. That might be something you'd like to see.
It's Nicole's birthday today.
Okay, it's Nicole's. We gave her a birthday cake.
It's Nicole's birthday today. Amazing that her birthday and her husband's getting resentenced. Same day.
Wow.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from
Dominic Fox.
Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is $13.99. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Telling.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Dominic. Good to hear you.
Hello, my friend. Hey, how we doing, guys?
We're doing good. We're not cold like in Freedom Corner. We're inside, nice and warm, and waiting for your calls.
Well, that's awesome. Where are you guys at tonight? Is it the VFW, or where are you guys eating at this evening?
Yeah.
We're at the VFW.
We are warm.
That's awesome. Well, that's good. And I speaking of our friends at Freedom Corner, I do hope that they are not too mad at us tonight. Jonathan Copeland left. I assumed responsibility for helping coordinate the calls tonight for Northern Net, and I literally, like 4 minutes ago, was like, oh my God, we don't have 20 guys anymore. There are the same 4 or 5 guys that I had call in tonight are also going to have to double dip and call into DC. So I hope some of the other guys over in the jail and maybe Miss Liz Pollock called in tonight. But if not, any of our friends at Freedom Corner, with nothing personal. But we're going to get better. We're going to try to schedule stuff a little bit better. But we are I joked about it. My friend Kevin Anderson came down from New Jersey today, and I talked to him. I said, hey, I don't really get tired of hearing us because there is very little variety of any, not that we're not a varied group of people, but they're going to start hearing a lot of the same voices because, as you guys know, there's only 8 of us left, and without the hard work and dedication of the law offices of Greg Purdy and Robert Turner, that would be down to only 6 guys. So I know you heard from them, but we're excited that, we're so used to seeing our rights get violated and people just get run and treated ridiculously in the courtroom today. But thankfully, that young man, Gregory Purdy, has been working nonstop for like the last 30 or 60 days, outlining some of the deficiencies that he's had with his representation, particularly the fact that he did not receive his pre-sentence report within 35 days, and that's a legal obligation.
And he was able to not only, along with his uncle, pass through the Feretta hearing today, allowing themselves to represent themselves, but then their judge, the Honorable Royce Lambert, agreed that given the grievances that they should have and did have every right to fire their attorneys and represent themselves. Say all that to say, thankfully they were also, given those deficiencies in their representation, they were able to hold off their sentencing, and from what I understand, much like my buddy Daniel Ball's case, now things are indefinitely suspended. So it sounds like those of us that are here, that's myself, Tom Maduelos, Daniel Ball, Callie Jankowski, Jonathan Polly, Joseph Hutchison, Greg Brady, and Robert Turner, we will be here through the end. And as I say every week, guys, it's still an honor to be here with those men. You know, of course, we were sad to see my brothers leave the other day, but we're going to be here through the end. Personally, you guys know my sentence is not scheduled until February 21st, but the one thing I'm going to tell the guys, I know my brother Daniel Ball was here with me last year, but I'm going to break the news to John Manuelos and the other guys very soon. We will all be participating in the J6 Christmas Choir this year. I have the lyrics for that, and so we'll get started with that. Thankfully we had Jeff Sable and Reed Christensen last year to really knock the silver to help spice things up, but we'll get to practicing. And my birthday is actually going to be my second birthday this year. It's coming up on December 17th, so 11 days from now. And what better birthday present than to start practicing Christmas carols with my J6 brothers. So looking forward to that, but I just want you guys to know that, you know, whether there's 1, 6, or 100 of us in here, we're going to keep the traditions alive. J6 Choir, and most importantly, the ones who are participating right now on the 9 o'clock anthem. So bear with me real quick. We're going to get that anthem going, and I'll be back after that.
All right. He said his birthday was on December 17th.
Yes.
It sounded like September.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming through Christ and bright stars, through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Forsaker's that star-spangled banner it waved, for the land of the free and the home of the brave. USA, 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 fight, 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 fight.
All right, guys, and real quick, tell the people who you are. Happy birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nicole. Happy birthday to you.
And guys, I want to introduce you real quick to a couple of our new voices. Tell the people who you are. Chris. Yes. Darren. All right, that was my new singing associates, Chris, Ted, and Darren.
Hey, Chris, Ted, and Darren, thank you guys. Welcome.
Absolutely. Well, guys, yeah, so like we said, it's been a growing process, getting to know some of these guys. They've all got stories just like us, and just having them, join us with the anthem every night is a really cool experience. And my buddy Daniel Ball actually cooks them a special, we call them Baldillas. It's a special pizza quesadilla made by none other than my friend Daniel Ball. And, as a thank you to those guys, because, as you can understand, not everybody is a fan of the anthem singing or the basic cause that's on the unit. So we really appreciate those guys for kind of crossing that picket line, as it were, and joining with us every night. So that was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Absolutely. Well, guys, what's new? We're what, 46 or 45 days away?
I'm not keeping that close account, but it's one of those, so for sure. I saw Jack Smith in the hallway today in the courthouse, so I guess that's like a really big deal, right?
Really?
Is
he as sketchy and skeletal as he looks on TV and in pictures?
He is absolutely, and I was wondering if they don't just, sometimes use a low camera angle to make him appear bigger than he is, but he was not very impressive in person, I gotta say.
Well, I wish both he and Matthew Graves well. I wish them well, but I wish they would get the heck out of Dodge and get on to doing, whatever else it is that the corrupt members of the Department of Injustice do when they're no longer needed. Maybe they can get a job at IHOP, which, as I learned in a recent Doge preemptive report, was almost $500,000. So they better have some good jobs and good Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity opportunities at the Capitol Hill IHOP here in DC. But guys, it was, we're glad, and I'm sure my buddy Greg told you today, while it was great that he and his uncle had their cases extended today, or delayed, his brother on misdemeanor charges, who has been out on bond for years, was now immediately remanded to custody for 90 days.
I did not know that.
Half of that time.
His brother.
Yeah, his name's Matthew Purdy.
Right.
Yeah, he was remanded to custody. So we're hoping he'll get to stay here at the DC jail and not be shipped off to Philadelphia or whatever county jail they're putting out in Kentucky. But definitely say some prayers to him, and for those of you out there listening, if you could maybe reach out to him, he should have a tablet in a day or two. His name's Matthew Purdy. You can contact Greg for his information. He's a good guy. They actually, Purdy and his whole family are extremely interested. He reminds me of a young Donald Trump. They actually brought one of my best friends, Greg and Craig, my buddy Craig from Savannah, out to Syracuse to look at some development projects that they're working on. And these are both guys in their early to mid-20s who are running a very successful, I'll just say a very successful business, and they've now put the hand of that business on the shoulders of their youngest brother, a 23-year-old. And for what purpose? They say there's a substantial interest in resolving these cases. Many times people, the Bob Burger voice actor was able to self-report. He hasn't been given a date yet. In most cases where there's no threat of, violence or flight, people are allowed to self-report. But we kind of believe that because Greg and his uncle were standing up for themselves and, they use a cliche, fighting for their rights, they took it out on his younger brother who was doing nothing but, remaining positive and running the family business. But, we know that you guys will reach out to him and keep him in your prayers, just like you do for all of us. I also want to say, I did hear from my buddy John Von Loylis, who's right next to me, that whether it's you guys or there's some group out there that is organizing, I'm sure this is something you guys have done before, but a toy drive or a present drive for the children of the J6 families, the J6 men and women, and I think that's incredible. And I just want to thank you guys, Cheryl for the newsletter, and John for putting it together, Tom for everything you guys do, Heather, Evan and Maurice, everybody out there. It's really incredible, and even though we're so close to the finish line, it's great to know that you guys haven't giving us your mission, which is not only sharing our stories, but keeping us a part of your family and taking care of us while we're unable to take care of our families in the ways that we would like. But whether it's 45 or 46 days, we know that it's coming soon, and I'm ready to walk out those doors. Daniel Ball and I were joking last night. We said, if they open the doors right now, we don't have the clothing for it. We don't have the scarves or the gloves, but we'd be fine. So whether it's a blizzard or a nice shiny sunny day, we're ready to get out of here. We're ready to get on back to our lives. I know he and like my friend John right here, they're ready to get back and take care of their kids. I'm ready to not to be vulgar. Sorry, anybody who's mom. I'm ready to go out and make some kids, find a wife, make a family, so I can get to take care of them.
Well, find the wife first, and then make the kids.
Of course, no, absolutely. I'm ready to find a wonderful, godly woman, an America First woman.
Is there mail backup also over in your pod? Have you been getting the mail?
I have not gotten your most recent. I believe John got a letter from you today. It looks like things are kind of coming in, sporadically. Like I literally just got a letter that my friend Diane Kelly from Ohio sent me on September 6th. I got that last week.
Wow. September.
So you'll get your birthday card in January.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure I'll get my birthday card. Then maybe forward it to me.
3 months behind.
A month from now, but I know you guys are praying for me. I know you're keeping me. Everybody out there listening. My mom. I bless her heart. It really bothers me because she sent me so many